talk about confidence. I've been coaching for right about 20 years now in the athletic industry, in the athletic arena, helping people with their confidence and helping them with their mental performance, but most specifically related to confidence and how that relates to how they perform. Now, when you think about confidence, it's interesting because Napoleon Hill, and I've got this quote right here. Napoleon Hill said, and he wrote in Think and Grow Rich, taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich. Once again, and I'll hold it up there. Taking inventory of mental assets and liabilities, you will discover that your greatest weakness is lack of self-confidence. It's interesting, though, when you think about confidence, because, and what Napoleon Hill has to say there is because some people might say, I don't lack confidence. You might not be too quick on that. Because really, we're all confident in certain things. There's certain things that we do in our lives, there's expertise that we have that we might be more than confident in, and that's fine. But we all have areas of our lives that we lack confidence in. The question is, and what you have to determine is something that you lack confidence in doing, is that something that is important to you? Is it something that means something to you? Is it something that that you consider to be important to you, important enough that you would take action steps towards dealing with the lack of confidence in that particular area? Just as an example, I do and have competed on stages in public speaking. I don't lack confidence in public speaking. However, I have no confidence in getting into a boat and driving out to the middle of the ocean and trying to catch a game fish like a marlin. I have no confidence in myself in that whatsoever. Why? Well, because I lack the experience and I lack the skills. I don't know what I'm doing. So you see where there's an area of my life that I certainly am confident in, but there's another area of my life that I have no confidence whatsoever. Now, is that an area of life that's important to me? No, it's not. So it's no big deal. But if there's an area of life that is important to you that you lack confidence in, well, then that's the area that you need to step up and maybe take some action steps towards growing your confidence in that area, or getting a genuine confidence, that I call it a confidence that sticks. Confidence is really, it's a game, it's a mind game, it's a skillful psychological game. And the problem is that we've really, throughout the time that we've been growing up, we've been told and taught the wrong set of rules for confidence. Because what we've been told is that you have to feel confident before you would do something. And a lot of people feel that way about things that they lack confidence in. They'll say to themselves, I need to get to a point where I feel confident before I do something like that. And that's something that might be important to you. And I would tell you that that's a mistake when it comes to the area of confidence, because that's the number one rule of the confidence game. The actions of confidence come first and the feelings of confidence come later. Well, people don't really think about confidence in terms of, wait a minute, it has more than one meaning. Yes, it does. Think about the word confidence. Confidence, the word itself, has two predominant meanings. The most predominant meaning is a feeling of certainty or assurance. A feeling of certainty or assurance. That is the feeling of confidence. Now, an older meaning of the word confidence would be an action of trust or reliance. That's an older meaning of the word, but in my opinion, it's the most important meaning of the word confidence, an action, an act of trust or reliance, as opposed to a feeling of certainty or assurance. See, most people think they have to feel confident before they act confident. No, it's the other way around. You act, the actions of confidence come first. The feelings of confidence come later. They follow along, if at all. Sometimes they may not show up at all, but if you'll continue to act confident, you'll perform much better and you'll, be better in that area of life that you're wanting to improve in. So that's one thing to understand about confidence. Why have confidence? That's an interesting thing to think about. Why do we even want confidence? I mean, do we want confidence just for the sake of having confidence? I mean, just to think of it this way. If you were completely and totally confident in every area of your life, and yet that didn't really change anything, it didn't change anything in the way that you act or did anything else, well, does that do you any good? Do you really even care? No. We don't want confidence just for the sake of having confidence. We want confidence for a reason. We want confidence in order to be a better, say, better public speaker, possibly to be a better friend, a better student, better in athletics. In whatever area of life that you can think of, what it might be for you. What is it that confidence would do for you? So why do we want confidence? That's something that we should really think about. And here's where I want to go with this today. Answer this question. And I have some notes here in front of me. Here's the question. Answer this question. In a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you behave differently? You can certainly ask questions and comment during this broadcast if you like. Maybe you want to comment on one of these questions. And by the way, if you see the subscribe or the follow button, go ahead and click that. And come on back to my page sometime. I'll be doing more live broadcasts from my Facebook page. But in a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you behave differently? How would you walk and talk differently? In a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you walk or talk differently? How would you play, work, or perform differently? In a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you treat others differently? Family, friends, acquaintances. In a world where you had unlimited confidence, how would you talk to yourself differently? How would your character change? What sort of things would you start doing? That's an interesting one to think about. In a world where you had unlimited confidence, what sort of things would you start doing that you're not doing now? I bet for many of us, there's a lot of things that we could think of and think, you know what? If I was confident in this particular area in my life, I would do this. I would take this step. I would take this chance. I would take this risk. In a world where you had unlimited confidence, what sort of things would you start doing? What difference would confidence help you make in the world? That's another good one to think about. In a world where you had unlimited confidence, what would that confidence help you? What difference in the world would that confidence help you make in the world? If you had unlimited confidence, could you make a bigger difference in the world? I think so. Here's another way to think of that. As I develop genuine confidence, how would I behave differently? How would your life change? That's where, the whole gist of where I'm going with this today. How would your life change with confidence? Let's see. There was a time when I felt confident and unbeatable, but after a little while, I lost that feeling completely. I want to know how to make that confidence stick. Well, that's a good one, and I'm not going to take a stab at your name because I don't want to say it wrong. But thank you for your comment. You felt confident and unbeatable. You know what? It's interesting that you talk about that because people that are very successful in this world, I mean, like your big time business executives, and especially holds true in the athletic world, where these guys are like bigger than life, and they are extremely good at what they do. They're some of the most popular and they're the best performers in the world at what they do. And yet as they get older, what happens to their performance? It starts to go down. They're not as good as they used to be. They start being referred to as a has-been. Oh, he doesn't have it anymore. And you know what? Those kind of athletes, a lot of them, they suffer from a fragile self-esteem because their self-esteem and their confidence level was based on how they were performing. And ultimately, as we get older and time starts catching up to us and more young people are coming up behind that all of a sudden, oh no, are better than we are, then we will tend to lose that confidence. Now, I don't know what it was about you and what you had going on that you were feeling confident and unbeatable, but you lost it. But the way that you keep that confidence is a number of things. One, I'll tell you this, if you go to todd-thomas.com/offer, you'll see that I've got a system that I call Confidence That Sticks. You want to know about how to make that confidence stick. Well, I would submit to you it's because you're really ultimately have been playing by the wrong rules of confidence. One is that you feel like it's not your fault, and I'm not beating you up by any means, and don't beat yourself up. But you've just been taught the wrong things about confidence. And that is, we've been taught from since we were little that we need to feel confident. We need to feel confident before we do something that's important to us. And while confidence is a feeling, that's not the important way or the way to make confidence work and to stick. The actions of confidence come first and the feelings of confidence come later. That's the number one rule of playing the confidence game. And you find that out in my Confidence That Sticks system, is that you take the actions of confidence. That's how you continue to push through. Whenever we step out of our comfort zone or we face a genuinely challenging situation, we are going to feel fear. We are going to feel nervousness. We are going to feel anxiousness. That is normal. It is not a sign that there's anything wrong with you. See, that's another thing, that a problem that we have in this world is that we've been taught the wrong things about fear. That fear is a sign of weakness, that it's what's holding you back, that it's false evidence appearing real, and it's not. We have our fight or flight response built into us. Fear is an ally. It's there to help us and to, in some cases, looks like I had just a little glitch there for a second, but it looks like we're still going. And so when we step out of our comfort zone and we're facing a genuinely challenging situation where the outcome is uncertain, we're going to feel anxiousness, nervousness, fear. And because we've been taught the wrong things about fear and that it's something we need to try to fight and get rid of, that it ultimately works out to be a problem for us in the confidence game. Not knowing that then there's the second rule of the confidence game. And then again, this is something that I learn and I coach people through in my Confidence That Sticks system. And that is that confidence is not the absence of fear. Think about that for a second. See, a lot of people think it is. They think, I've got to be fearless. I've got to not feel any fear or anxiousness or nervousness in order to be confident. In order to show courage. You know what? Courage is not the absence of fear either. Courage is doing what you fear, or doing what's important to you, this in spite of feeling fear, in spite of how you feel. So those are two main things that can help you have a confidence that sticks, a genuine confidence, not basing it on a feeling, but basing it on your actions. The actions of confidence come first, and the feelings of confidence come later. And confidence, genuine confidence, is not the absence of fear. It is a complete, transformed relationship with your fear. And that's something that we do in the Confidence That Sticks system also. So that's a great point, a great question, and I hope what I shared there with you helps out. Anybody else have a question or a comment that they would like to post? Thank you again for that comment, and thank you for the thumbs up. If you go to todd-thomas.com todd.com/offer, or if you just go to todd-thomas.com and you click on the link that says Confidence Mastery for Your Best Life Guaranteed. I actually guarantee it. How do I guarantee it? Well, it's my personal guarantee. It's me saying, you know what? If you don't feel like you have that confidence that sticks after us working together for the time that we work together, then I will continue to work with you for as long as it takes until you feel like you have that confidence that sticks. I feel certain that you will when you learn the real and the true rules of the confidence game and how to play it the right way. In terms of negative thinking and negative thoughts, and what about self-esteem? How does that factor in? There's a life skill that actually completely trumps self-esteem, kicks self-esteem's butt. Okay, there's a life skill that's much more important than self-esteem. Success traps and the perfectionist trap. Boy, I've talked a lot about that over the years with my athletes that I've worked with, and that is, quit being so hard on yourself in terms of trying to be a perfectionist. There is no perfect. We're not perfect. There is no perfect. You know, in our experience and in our human lives, in our human world, we can't be perfect. And yet a lot of us hold ourselves to perfectionist standards. And that is one of the reasons why people have a lack of self-confidence in their lives in things that are important to them, because they hold themselves to a standard so high that they can't meet them. It's called excessive expectations. So excessive expectations and had a little glitch there again. It's like my Wi-Fi signal is kind of going up and down a little bit. But excessive expectations and harsh self-judgment are the top two things that are the keys to a lack of self-confidence. The major causes of low self-confidence. There are others, and we talk about and we cover those in the Confidence That Sticks system, but excessive expectations and harsh self-judgment. So I'm going to wrap it up for today for this broadcast, this live broadcast on my Facebook page. Thank you for being here. I guess taking actions while you are not feeling confident will lead to the failure of this action, which will lead more feeling of anxiousness and powerless. Let me reread that and digest that for a minute. I guess taking actions while you are not feeling confident will lead to the failure of this action. Not necessarily. In fact, I would tell you that courage and genuine confidence is not waiting until you feel confident before you act, but is in fact acting confident and taking the actions of confidence despite of how you feel. Maybe you don't feel confident, or you're fearful, or you're nervous, or you're anxious about that certain thing because you're stepping out of your comfort zone. There's an uncertain outcome. But if you take those actions of confidence anyway, that's how you get a confidence that sticks. Because look, here's the five major causes of low self-confidence. Number one, I talked about two of those already: excessive expectations and harsh self-judgments. The third one is a fixation or hang-up or a preoccupation with fear. And then the last two are lack of experience and lack of skills. Well, if you lack experience and lack skills in something, you're certainly not going to feel confident about doing it. And so if you'll take the time to develop those skills and to get the experience, you will naturally start feeling more confident, but you're still going to have to take the actions. The actions of confidence come first. The feelings of confidence come later. Great comments. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.